Officially, a very big welcome to you all that have managed to join us live for this Diamond Template Activation 4. So I think it's going to be a pretty powerful session this evening, and I'm so pleased that you were all able to join us live for this one. Certainly a better, more powerful energy than last week, which felt really heavy, and of course with the cold it didn't help anything at all. So it's fantastic to be with you all this evening where I am. And I just love this picture because the ultimate conclusion, if you like, to what we call the alchemical marriage is the birth of the divine child within us. And that's the divine child of innocence, the golden child, the golden aspect of who we are, the marrying and the neutralizing of the masculine and feminine, the transcendence of polarity, so that we see the birthing of that new third force. And that's really the essence of the alchemical marriage and the balancing of polarities. So I did just love this image, and of course, the diamond reflected on the water. We've got a couple of comments in the chat room coming in. Goosebumps. Yes. Yeah. So really powerful. So what we're going to be using. Oh, isn't that wonderful? My inner child came to the golden key. That's fantastic. Was that last week in a meditation? How wonderful is that? That's the beauty, I think, of working with the diamond. And one thing that I find, and I'm sure many of you have found as well, is that the level of synchronistic um, events, number of synchronistic events that begin to take place around us and in connection with the work that we do really becomes quite profound. And sometimes it can be extremely subtle, but they are still things that we notice. So you've had a definite increase in synchronicities. What I'd like to ask you guys to do, if you don't mind, is to, when you put a comment in the chat room, just put your name first, because then I'll know who it is that's talking, because I'm already forgetting who was number 3 and number 7. Thank you. That's my fault. Okay, number 3 is Anne. Fantastic. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we are using bioscalar energy for the process this evening. So I just wanted to really go through a little bit of a background and a bit of insight in respect of what scalar energy actually is, because essentially it's a way for us to access the 0 point field. And of course, when we access the 0 point field, as many of you will know, we're accessing a place of stillness. And that is what bioscalar energy waves enable us to do. And our body is actually capable of producing bioscalar waves. So Anne has said, loving these intros with lots of info. Oh, that's wonderful, Anne. I'm so glad that you enjoy it, because it is fascinating for me, and it adds depth and meaning and relevance and contextualizes what we are working with. There's no point in me just saying to you, listen, it's a scalar wave. You know, you just have to then trust what I say. And I know that we operate on a high level of trust, but it really adds meaning and depth to be able to understand, I think, what it is that we are doing and what we are working with and why. So here's a definition that I found about scalar waves. It is a non-linear, non-Hertzian standing wave. You may have heard of standing waves, capable of supporting significant effects, including the carrying of information and inducing higher levels of cellular energy, which greatly enhances the performance and effectiveness of the body and the immune system. Additionally, it helps to clear negative cellular memory by shifting polarity. That should also be by transcending polarity, similar to erasing the memory of a cassette tape with a magnet. Scalar waves travel faster than the speed of light and do not decay over time or distance. So this was a little image. So that's one beauty of it, because normal Hertzian or linear waves actually do decay or weaken over distance, whereas scalar waves, when they are produced, do not. So it really places us into a place of sort of no time, where that energy is available. It gives us access to the quantum field where everything is available instantaneously, if you like. So this is essentially shape of what they would call a nonlinear, non-Hertzian wave. Where you're talking about a linear wave, what you get is one side of this. So you get, that usual sine wave that you guys may be familiar with, or, from school science, that kind of thing. So you get one aspect of the wave. So what happens when you get two waves that actually move in opposite directions, opposite polarities, they cancel each other out at the lows, and they amplify these highs, and it becomes like a pulse, so you can see each of these, and of course look at the shape that it actually forms. Is this diamond? It's like a continual pulse that actually flows through. And this is a definition here. Scalar waves are self-contained, three-dimensional waves, so it's not linear, it's three-dimensional, that spin on a fixed axis. Non-linear waves propagate throughout the body via the crystalline lattices of the elaborate collagen network. So there's a lot of people talking about bioscalar waves. Now, what I want to read to you just very quickly, and I can give you the link for this also if you want to have a look. It's an article by Dr. Valerie Hunt that was written a number of years ago. And it's quite fascinating because she was very, very enamored with bioscalar energy. Let's just paste that link in for you. Okay, there you go. So if you want to copy and paste that link, then you can access it afterwards. So let me just tell you what Valerie Hunt actually says. And she discovered that the scalar energy was the energy that not necessarily new, it was described by Nikola Tesla, referred to by Einstein in the 20s, and that it was the force that was used in what we now know as psychic surgery. She believes that one reason scalar energy has not its way into the textbooks, and by the way, Valerie Hunt is a professor. She was a professor who was really, really focused on bioenergetic fields. She did some amazing work. So Valerie Hunt believes um, that one reason scalar energy has not made its way into the traditional textbooks is that it is a standing energy having zero frequency in conventional terms. In other words, bioscalar energy is a field that is alive with checked and balanced energies. Checked and balanced, and that's really important to understand because that's the balancing of the polarities that we were talking about with the alchemical marriage. So these checked and balanced energies cancel each out. They cannot be measured or evaluated by our traditional instruments. It is, she says, a strong, huge, and yet passive force. Only its effects tell us that it exists in space and has incredible power. Based on her research, Dr. Hunt found that this energy, which exists in the environment and in all living things, is a source of energy that directly influences all body tissue and can, through meditative techniques, be tapped into by energy healers and focused upon a client or the self for specific healing purposes. It can also be tapped into by the individual and focused on particular areas of his or her own body for healing and energy balancing. It can eliminate pain, heal traumatized tissue, destroy disease, and eliminate tumor growths. Scalar energy exists in the environment, and it is a source of energy that directly influences all body tissue. So there you have from a very, very well-respected scientist, Dr. Valerie Hunt, her definition, and it is these checked and balanced energy flows and forces that are very important in respect of what we're going to do today. Now, this also links us straight back in the most beautiful way to the diamond, because Dr. Valerie Hunt says that to mobilize scalar energy, and this is her quote, she starts by saying, you visualize straight lines bisecting the body from head to toe, back to front, and right to left, with the end points at equal distances from the body and all meeting in the center. Now, from that description, what have you got? You've got the axes of the diamond. So the axes of the diamond and the way that we move energy through those energetic fibers enable us to directly create that scalar energy within our body. And it was her description of this that just fascinated me. And I went, oh, that's amazing. So there's a visual way to be able to connect with it. So head to toe, front to back, side to side, whichever way it is, the other way around, side to side, and all meeting in the middle. You've got the axes of the diamond. Now, this becomes really, really powerful. So Katie says, have goosebumps due to meditation this week, an abstract done in the fall 12. Eyes are involuntary clearing. Oh, Katie, that's wonderful. You were meant to actually be part of this evening for sure. So with a diamond-like grid, this is just a two-dimensional image, but you can imagine now that this three-dimensional space is also filled with lots of little octahedral fields, lots of mini diamonds. So in 2 dimensions, you would actually see it this way. So what we can also do, and what we are going to do in the session, is we're going to build up not just the scalar energy in the main grid, but can you imagine what happens when you start creating and building up the scalar energy in each one of these sub-diamonds that form part of your diamond-like grid? You start building incredible power for healing, self-healing, and for clients that you can direct through the quantum field wherever that energy needs to go. Not only that, but it balances beautifully. So we're going to use it for that purpose. That is ultimately the alchemical marriage and the third force. So you could actually say that the divine child is the scalar energy. It is that aspect of the quantum field that exists everywhere and in everything. Isn't that just beautiful? It's amazing. I know, I love all of the validations that I just keep finding that just pop up. And I go, wow, there it is again. There it is again. Okay, so that's a brief explanation. And now we have a little image that was taken from a book by Dr. Fred Bell called Rays of Truth, Crystals of Light. And I just love this image and the way that Fred Bell represented it, because he described it as the pyramid posing the bridge to mankind. Whereas in essence, it's the diamond bridge. Each one, each half of the diamond is a pyramid. So we've got, who says here, my inner child said, don't worry, we can heal the body. Oh, that's wonderful. So Joyce says, yeah, now I'm being shown a new tool. Yes, absolutely. And that's the inner child that supports us. And this is an energetic framework within which we are working that is extremely powerful. Beautiful. I love it. So, the way that he describes this as the world today, which is incredibly macho, positive force in the upper part of the pyramid representing the male or the yang, and then we have the feminine force, the world which will soon be, in the lower half of the pyramid, which is, portrayed as the negative force or the yin, the feminine, but it's not necessarily an either or, it is both in perfect harmony, which create the bridge for humanity. So perfect synthesis, as he says, perfect synthesis of the two. So there we have another one. And some of you will have seen this image before because I have used it in some other presentations. And that is this picture of the Christ. Now, this is a picture that it's not a picture, it's a stained glass window that is found in the Roslin Chapel. And it's down in the basement. So it's not in the upper part of the chapel, it's down below. You have to go into the basement to be able to see this. But this was really fascinating. It was sent to me by a lady many years ago now who'd visited the Roslin Chapel and was quite blown away. And she was also working with. And here we have in plain sight this golden two interlocking diamonds behind the Christ. Here we go. And of course, Christ as an embodiment was the perfect synthesis of the masculine, feminine in embodiment. So he actually was the Son. So he was the divine child. So we have these symbolic clues actually hiding in plain sight. To the best of my knowledge, it's the only stained glass portrayal of the Christ with these diamonds behind, or with these sort of diamond patterns that I'm aware of. And of course, they're not aligned the way that I would align them, but that's irrelevant. It's the understanding and the symbolic meaning and importance and value of this stained glass window. And just very interesting that this window sits in the basement of the Roslin Chapel and not up above. So it's kind of only those with the knowledge will be able to recognize and understand the meaning of that. So this is another indication of this time that we are in, where we are moving into the embodiment of the Christed consciousness. So it's about being like the Christ, being the divine child, embodying and embracing the Christed consciousness, and we will be capable of miracles aplenty. And it says in the Bible, anything I can do, you can do, and more. So when we harness the energy of that divine child through these balance checked scalar energies, we become capable of harnessing and holding a great deal of power. And I go back to an earlier statement that was made too, that the diamond or the octahedron is the strongest shape that exists. So you can, that diamond can actually hold and manage greater amounts of energy than any other geometric form. Any other geometric form. So where we're talking about the amount of power that we can ultimately build up within us using these scalar energy tools, the diamond is the perfect shape to enable us to do that. So it facilitates our access to that higher level consciousness in so many different ways. Beautiful. Okay, so there's a light code that we are going to also use for the process this evening. And this light code is one that I actually call resolving duality. It's actually one of my favorites. As I've said before, I kind of do that with each one that I put up, and I go, oh, I love them all. But they're beautiful. They truly are. These light codes are absolutely amazing. And one thing I just want to show you with this one, so you can actually see, if you look here, this is akin to that central core column of scalar energy, of standing wave energy that would run along the spine. And just also by way of it, it is that is the quality of energy that is moved upward through the spine when one experiences the fullness of Kundalini and Kundalini activity. So it's a standing wave, and yeah, beautiful, isn't it, B? Standing wave that actually runs up along the spine. So not only do we have it running up along the spine, we actually have it expanded and holding in all dimensions and in all ways. And I'd just like to share with you this aspect of this standing wave as well, because it was back probably in about 2009 when I experienced a really powerful Kundalini, spontaneous Kundalini um, awakening, rising. I'd been having hints of it for a number of years, but this one was exceptionally powerful. And that was the movement of the energy up the spine. And I realized because of what I was experiencing, it was like a red hot poker. This energy was just absolutely amazing as it moved up. But the one thing, um, ah, so Casey says, yeah, that was what I saw the last time when we were opening up to the codes that we needed. What was that, Casey? This standing core column of light. Some lovely comments coming here. So I just want to share them with you guys who are picking this up on the recording. The image on the screen. Oh, that's beautiful. I just love it. I saw the vase shape. And in my diary of 1979, I drew this image in a pink color. Do you know that's what I find so beautiful is the universality of these codes, of the diamond light codes, because it's happened so often that we put one out or I work with one in one of the processes and people recognize it. There is an instant recognition, and that immediately says to me that this came from beyond my personal conscious awareness. And I know from the experience that that's what it was related to an experience of enlightenment. That is just amazing. Thank you for sharing that, everybody. That just is truly beautiful. Because people do have the most amazing responses to these codes. So there's one thing I want to show you here, which is just beautiful, is if you look at this code, which is the balancing of polarities to a single point, you actually see that there is the outline of an enormous heart here in the image. So there you've got the beginnings of a huge heart. And you can't see it too well on the screen, but if you look here, there's a small heart that actually sort of moves between the arms of the code. And for me, this always represents also the in the blending of those polarities and in the balancing, we enter into the greatness of the universal, the cosmic heart. We fully embed, our little human heart becomes completely embraced and brought back into harmonization with the fullness of, yes, it is part of the card set, Yasmina, to the fullness of the cosmic heart. So it just is a beautiful image. The information that's portrayed through this code is very, very profound. Through all of them, actually, is very profound and multi-layered. And sometimes we can't see those things, but we know that's having an effect on us. So there's a very profound heart effect that actually happens with this code too. So it's called resolving duality. So we got a comment here which says, "Happy tears opening all the inner subtle bodies." Yes, beautiful. Is that what you're feeling at the moment? Oh, and lovely. So yes, and I see the being inside the light column. Yeah, it feels like it's communicating to me now. Oh, isn't that just amazing? Beautiful. Oh, sorry, Joyce says, can I go back to the Kundalini experience? Yes, thank you, Joyce, for reminding me. Sorry, get a bit way late sometimes. But with that Kundalini experience, I had the energy rising up the spine, and it was literally like a red hot poker. Um, and sort of flashes and popping in the brain and all sorts of stuff that actually went along with it. And it was really quite amazing. But what was significant for me was that the strength that was imparted in my spine was tangible. And that energy stayed for 3 days. It was just held and it hummed, and the only description that I actually had for this that I was actually experiencing, I didn't quite know what to do with it at the time for this energy that I was experiencing, was that it felt like the strength and the power of a nuclear reactor. That's how much power is actually generated, and that is how much power we can actually generate for the healing within ourselves, scalar energy, through this particular process too. So I want you to just be aware of that. Um, yeah, the power of a nuclear reactor. So you can imagine now our diamond has to be really, really strong to be able to hold that. Lisa says, I have to look at this image a while to see different aspects. It keeps building the more I gaze on it. Yes, that is absolutely what happens with the codes. Um, I never clicked, but I have hummed. Yeah, I know, and how beautiful. Yeah. So from the bottom up, I'm not sure about that question. There's a question there in the chat room from the bottom up. You're talking about the code. Ah, the Kundalini experience. Yeah, the movement is bottom. It's from that space, from the sacrum, that sacred bone at the base of the spine. And it moves from there up the spine and then down the core column. So yeah, it moves in all directions. So we'll see what happens this evening. Looks and feels like I'm not sure what that is. KT fleur de lis shape. Fountain. Yeah. Yeah, this is a bit like a fountain. So it is, I think it's the gift once we actually harness and access that core column within ourselves fully, we're able to fountain that energy out. And we share it. It's like some of those visionary images that people have of our energy fields when they are fully formed, just really beautiful, constant flows of energy. And that really is also what happens with the Kundalini, is it becomes an incredible toroidal field, a constant circulating flow of energy. So we are never drained, we are constantly fed by it. There's a lot more to it, but it was really that sort of nuclear reactor description that I had to the extent of the power in the core column through that experience, and then it dissipated, and it's never happened again to that extent. And all the way along, I think I've just been really fortunate to be given the experiences for the time that I've been given them, which supports the level of understanding of this diamond work. So Rachel says it's like the masculine is supported by the feminine. Yes, isn't that a beautiful way to describe it? Very passive, and yet it's the masculine. If you think about the form of the diamond, it's very angular, very geometric, and it needs to be that. And often those straight lines are referred to as masculine, while the curved lines are referred to as feminine. But in the straight lines of the diamond, we have the container. We have the container to support the feminine energy. So it is that beautiful marriage between the two. In the diamond itself is that marriage between the masculine and the feminine. So Katie experienced the stained glass diamond in the 90s. Oh, that one in Breslin. That's amazing. And we have, yes, that's new to me, that from the bottom up, used to the other way from the top to the bottom. Kundalini is referred to as the coiled snake that actually moves from the base of the spine up. So yes, sort of these partnerships, these understandings really build as we work, and we find that so many of the puzzle pieces of our lives begin to make more sense through the fabric. And as we work more deeply with the diamond, it's like all of the teachings, everything that we've actually learned through the different schools, through different teachers, is brought into a cohesive personal truth through the fabric of the diamond. So what I'm here to do really is to give you the insight into what the diamond is and how it supports, because ultimately the truth that you guys will work with is yours. It's your access to the universal flow. It becomes your unique expression of. So it's what I do is provide that context and some of the tools to be able to strengthen that. And that's why I always say that the diamond is about empowerment. It's about empowering your choices. It's about empowering your connectivity, your consciousness, and empowering your life. So it does become a very personal experience through all of this. So I hope you've enjoyed that. And I think I've talked for way too much. I think it is time for the session. So do any of you have any questions or anything else before we go into the process? Mhm. Joyce says this is just so beautiful. I know, isn't it? And it's just beautiful to have you all. Fascinating as usual. Yeah, I love it. And I keep saying I really, really need to sit down and write all of this in a cohesive way in a book. Um, so that it makes sense because they're always little snippets that I share in each of the webcasts. And when I look at how it's built over the years, it just is the most amazing picture that emerges. So yes, I think that the process has been already started. Yeah, I think you're right, Linda. Absolutely. So I'm going to need to really sit down all of these webcasts and all of the information and begin to develop something that's beautifully cohesive and meaningful that others can really get the benefit from. Because if you sign, it's only when you really sign up for the programs that you get much of this information. So it really needs, I think, to be brought together in a beautiful way. Okay, so if you guys are all ready, I'm just going to have a drink of water. I think it may be an idea to get somebody who could sit with all of the webcasts and transcribe the recordings and then edit. So thanks for that suggestion, yeah, and begin putting it together in such a way that it becomes that it flows. It's important that it flows. Oh, excuse me. I need to just watch because when I talk, I move my hands, so I don't want to be knocking the microphone and things around. So you can't see me sitting here, but I do sort of wave my hands around quite a bit. So Rachel says, I'd buy one. Oh, thank you, Rachel. So yeah, watch this space. It's time. I need to sort of find the time to be able to do that. Thank you, Joyce. Okay, everybody. So I'm going to keep my hands out of the way of the mic, and then you go into Gaia TV. Funny, I've been watching some of that stuff this week. It's been really, really interesting. Okay, so before we get distracted and go off at a tangent again, let's just make sure that you're all comfortable and gently, gently close your eyes, eyelids, and begin by taking long, slow, deep breaths in your own time and with your own rhythm. Nothing forced, just resting into a divine and beautiful flow. And in this space that you are creating on the flow of your breath, invoke or intend or create your diamond field, your initial primary diamond around you, aligned with the soul star above your head and the earth star below your feet. Don't worry about the distances, extending out to the left and the right, in front and back. And just ask for your diamond to align itself around you in its perfect, centered, and balanced position. Beautifully poised. And feel your body give a big internal sigh as you rest into this diamond space, into the beauty and the peace and the love and everything that the diamond, your diamond, represents. And call to mind the image of this beautiful light code that we are working with today, the one which I have called resolving duality, but which can have whatever name you choose to give it. And just bring it into your diamond so that the point that the two arms merge into rests and inserts itself into your Earth Star energy center, holding you. It's as if plugging you into the great planetary heart, the heart of Gaia, our beloved planetary mother, holding you, stabilizing your orientation within your diamond. Just notice how it feels. Allow this code to rotate around you through your diamond. Notice how, as it does, your core column begins to light up, that your soul star and your earth star are activated, alive with light. Feel the love as the heart of our planet, embedded within the cosmic heart, the universal heart, pulses and allows that energy to flow through into you, into your diamond space, fueling and expanding your own heart. In the heart, we always will find balance at the level to which we are able to accommodate that integration at any moment in time. Allow yourself to hold that space, to be in that space. In fact, allow the code, this beautiful diamond light code, to hold you in this space. For there is no effort that is required in order to be in the heart space. And now take your attention to the axes of your diamond that extend out to the left and to the right of you. All the axes, the 6 internal axes, the 1-1-1 ratio are all equal, perfectly equal in length. And these fibers are like optic fibers that transmit energy and light from the greater diamond grids. And as you focus on those extending out left and right, begin to breathe energy in from both directions at the same time. Breathe in into the center, breathe out. Breathe in from the left and from the right equally. Breathe out. If one flow seems to be more intense than the other, then continue breathing in and out in both directions until that flow is equalized in both fibers. Breathe in and out. You will feel the cells in your body begin to quicken in response to the energy. Keep on breathing in and out through the side fibers. The more you do this, the stronger the energy gets, and the broader those fibers actually become. And the more you do it, the more aware you become of a humming that begins to emit from those fibers, stirrings of unfamiliar essences and energies within your body. And as this energy balances, it assists in restoring the balance between the masculine and the feminine within you. Breathe in and out. And the energy begins to pool as a point or a pool of light in the very center of your being at the best. And now take your attention to the fibers extending front and back, and begin exactly the same process while you are still breathing in from the left and the right. You expand to breathe in from the front and the back at the same time. You are strengthening and adding to that pool of standing energy in the very center of your being. You may feel a quickening within your body, deep down in your bones. As your body begins to respond to the healing potential of the 0 point energy. And let's not forget the mirror of these diamonds within our DNA. So as we do this, we attune our DNA to become superconducting. And as we breathe in from the front and the back equally, and from the left and the right, we also balance the polarities of past and future, bringing all into the still point of now. So I'm going to be quiet for a while, as I would like you to continue focusing just on those axis fibers, front and back, left and right, all in at the same time. May feel unfamiliar as the power begins to build in your body. And now add to the movement that is stabilized in these fibers. An energetic flow from the top down and from the bottom up, from your soul star and your earth star, through your core column into the central point. Breathe down and up at the same time. So you have energy flowing into you through all 6 fibers from all 6 directions. And in order to intensify it, let's just continue building this energy. You can breathe in and hold. Breathe it in and hold. And again, without breathing out, in and hold. And again, in and hold. And once more, in and hold. And gently breathe out. And repeat this for another couple of times as you become aware of this merging of the heat within this energy that promotes the bonding, the synthesis of all opposites within the core of your being. And invite your inner child into this space, your divine child, that aspect of you that is birthed or brought forth through the merging of all of these polarities and energies within your being. And notice just exactly what your divine child looks like, sounds like, feels like, and what your inner child or your divine child has to communicate with you in this moment. Continue building the energy, allowing that child to take form within you. Feel the strength of your diamond stabilizing the power that is building within your being. Okay. Be aware of this energy now moving up and down your core column, in and out, holding each one of the axis fibers of your diamond, shining with the most brilliant, brilliant light. The light of the divine creator held within your space. And when you can feel a power that is built within each of these columns, direct the energy wherever you notice dark spaces within your diamond, wherever you require physical healing within your body. Allow your child to support you in directing this energy within to wherever it is needed. And keep breathing the energy in from all 6 directions at once. And as you direct this energy around your body and into your diamond field, you notice that parts and areas of it light up with an incredible brilliance. So now I want you to set the intention and expand this breathing, this creation of bioscalar energy into all of the sub-diamonds within your diamond grid. You may only be aware of a few of them responding at this moment. Let's start with the core column, for there are 8 diamonds down the core. So begin with the top diamond of your core that connects with your Earth star, breathing in from all 6 directions. You may feel a pressure in your head area as you do this, and as the light builds in the center of that diamond. And then come down to the second core diamond and do exactly the same thing. Notice how it comes alive. Breathe in all 6 directions. And you'll find that there is a thread, a continuous column of energy building through these core diamonds as you move down each one. And that standing wave of energy expands and strengthens. Drop down to the third diamond, breathing in from all 6 directions. Activated. And this one has a deep effect on your heart, expanding, building the energy. Drop down to the fourth and do the same thing, breathing in all 6 directions, creating those standing waves of power and potential. Drop down to the core diamond 5, and one by one you do the same until you reach the Earth star. Become familiar with holding this energy, building it in power, and then direct it wherever it needs to be within your body, your soul, your grid. And now expand this breathing practice, this drawing in creation of standing waves of bioscalar energy to all of the other smaller diamonds within your grid. And just be aware of what takes place and what happens as you do this. Watch them light up, humming with a quiet power. This is the power that you were created to bring to Earth. And as this energy builds within you, focus your conscious intention to wherever in the world that divine child energy is required for people, places, animals, countries, into the land, into the oceans. Send that energy out through the universal grid to wherever it needs to go for healing. Feel your body relax, and then bring your attention back to your breathing and begin the 6 directional breathing, breathing it all, building your power once more. And now, as a group, let's set a group intention. Build that power. Breathe in. And let's together all link in from wherever we are and whichever continent we are, and send that scalar energy into the very center of our planet. And the energy transmission is instantaneous. But just carry on building the energy, imagining yourself connecting with all of these incredible, brightly lit diamonds around the world. Building, building, building. Strengthening your energy, balancing all polarities, holding. And on the count of 3, we will all together send that energy down to the core of the planet. So hold, and 1, 2, 3. Allow that energy to infuse our beautiful planet, our beautiful mother, reinforcing all of the natural scalar waves that are found throughout nature, reactivating and reharmonizing and healing. And once more, let's together send out and project that energy into the diamond grid that surrounds the planet, that it purifies and reharmonizes the air that we breathe, that it energizes the oxygen in the air that is being breathed by every single person on this planet, enlivening it. So let's build, breathing into every facet of your diamond. Feel the vibration, the humming, steadily building. And on a count of 3, we will release that energy into the atmosphere to infuse the grids around the planet. So hold, and 1, 2, 3. Send it out. Beautiful. So once more, let's just invite into our combined and connected diamond chain all the people or individuals that we know of that require some of the gift that we are able to share through this process, some of the healing energy to support them. So just spend a few moments just rebuilding that energy, those bioscalar standing waves within the fabric of your diamond. Build, breathing in, breathing in, breathing in, holding. Hold, build, hold, and build. And now invite into this interconnected space everyone that you know that requires healing. As you allow yourself to transmit through your diamond the gift of that to them. So on a count of three, hold this essence, hold the energy. And 1, 2, 3. See your gifts being received. And allow the healing to take place at whatever level of consciousness it is required at this time, or is able to be integrated at this time. Allow your breathing to return to normal, gently breathing in and out. As you feel and become aware of the energetic effects of this bioscalar energy within your being. Take a look around at the cells of your body, at your bones, your organs. Notice how light you feel, and that you can reactivate this flow whenever you wish to energize your diamond grid, your DNA, support your own healing, build your power, and align all of your chakras. The longer you can do this, the more power you begin to build within your grid, the more power that is available to be able to be put to beautiful, perfect use out in the world for fueling your passion and your purpose, your joy and your reason for being. So, deep breath in now and breathe out. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes and slowly return. Okay. How are you doing? Are any of you back yet? How was that? Very thirsty. Yeah. You would need some of that. Magnificent. Could you feel that energy building with that breathing process? The more you do it, the easier it actually gets. Because sometimes it can be a bit difficult to almost focus on. Oh my goddess. I love that. Feeling really aligned. Yeah, you really can feel that almost that energy condensing and building up within the cells in your bodies as you practice this and as you do this. Felt spinning at the beginning and yes, felt it building. Wow, that's Joyce. Oh, I tell you what, it was beautiful sending into, yes, Anne says when we stood in a group and focused together, the energy was cosmic. That was, as I really was aware of the energy going into the center of the earth and everything else that we did. That was amazing. Could feel it the more I did it, was aware of all the facets lighting up as I drew in the breath. Yes, very expansive. Absolutely. And that is the essence. Ah, that's lovely. Joyce says the group brought tears. And we've got really liked that. The facets and the prisms, the center of the earth and sensing to the air, sending to the air, very powerful. That is a gift that we have that we can each give to ourselves and to people in our environment. And you'll notice how simple it is. There is an absolute profoundness in the simplicity of this as a process. So we've got some lovely comments coming in. Let me just read out for you. I saw all of it, spirals and lightning, the planet and the skies. I could see diamonds in the sky lighting one after the other. So beautiful, stunning. Rachel says, saw the huge diamond heart of Gaia as we sent the energy down. Lisa says, love that sending to the air. Jacqueline says, no coincidence, I am in the heart of the Canadian Rockies to send out this beautiful energy. Amazing. Oh, number 9, I forgot who number 9 is. She says, I can actually see my whole diamond for the first time. Oh, it's Lisa. Yes, 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 yes. Brilliant. Um, yes, connecting to the center of Gaia, divine and powerful, truly felt the oneness. Yeah. Profound warmth spreading from arms, palms, and soles of feet. Yeah, I actually felt my palms of my hands actually becoming exceptionally hot. Beautiful energy. Now, what I would suggest you do is, well, you're going to get this. Lots of vibration in hands, palms are sweating. Yeah. The more you do this, the stronger that gets. You've already activated those flows. So it'll be easier the next time you do it, and then easier again the next time you do it. So it's one of those processes that begins to build until you get to the point where you really just set an intention, you put out an invocation and set an intention, and it activates. It's a very, very powerful tool. Oh, that's interesting. Joyce says I feel energy running up my legs. Yeah, that's amazing. I was actually feeling it in my legs very much initially, and then I could actually feel it very strongly in my hands. And says Grace, my spiritual cat, rose up at a key moment and joined in the crescendo. Oh, lovely. Felt my feet very grounded to the earth star. Yes, because that's balancing heaven and earth, and we have to be fully, fully embodied. So other Anne says, we'll do this again, sure of this. Please do. The more you do this. And the thing is that once you're familiar with the process, you don't even need the guidance. You can sit and just do it for yourself. And the suggestion, the recommendation is to spend at least 10 minutes doing this. Yeah, this is a daily must do, as Linda says, because it really, every time you do it, it strengthens that integration of the polarities. It strengthens the impacts of that chemical marriage that takes place within and within the cells of your body. So it's a really good idea to do this often. Humming, flowing through all your body, great for healing therapies too. Pre-prep, yes. Katie says, beginning of meditation, so powerful I got bumped off numerous times. Ditto Joyce energy in legs. Fantastic. So again, I'd love to hear about your experiences. Did any of you experience your inner child or your divine child, not your inner child, your divine child in a different way. So Joyce says the scalar energy is the breathing from all directions that activates it. Yes, because when you have two waves coming in from opposite directions, you actually then cancel out the linear effect of the waves, Joyce. So that's it. Absolutely. So you can imagine if you're breathing in from the left and the right, it's not only meeting in the middle, it's going all the way across the rest of the fiber so that the whole fiber actually hums as that scalar wave is actually created within the horizontal and then within the vertical. Yeah, so you've got that, Joyce. Thanks. Scale. Rachel says, saw the scalar waves inside my diamond. Amazing. We have a wonderful group. I know. Linda says, amazing group. Love and gratitude to all. Have been seeing the circular energy over the diamond for weeks now, bringing all things together. Beautiful. Experience the divine child. See now how the diamond and the waves bringing in the rose gold galaxy. Yes. Wonderful. Lisa says, pink energy floated in from the left of my shoulder over the heart and then infused into the diamond. So I'm just sitting with it. Do that. Beautiful, beautiful. And I saw the energy pooling around the central diamond ocean of potential. Yeah. Love you all, Joyce. Yes, there was a big bee with dart. Oh, that's an interesting one. That's other Anne, I think, there. A big bee with a dart. That's interesting. Well, the bee represents productivity in many things. The bee gives us so many gifts. Okay, everybody. Oh, on that note, I'm actually cooling down now. I didn't realize how heated up I was actually getting until I actually started to cool down. So, so yeah, that comment was there was a big bee with a dart coming in the room, and my divine child showed me how to play with it instead of feeling scared. It tingled. That's wonderful. We've got my inner child felt magical. Um, look forward to my alignment. Great webinar. Thank you so much. Okay. So beautiful, beautiful. Thank you all. Me too, cooling down. Yeah, you can feel it. So I think you become aware of the difference more when you actually release. So do that and practice that in the next couple of days. So I would love to hear how you experience it. It's a really powerful build. So thank you all for being such a beautiful part of this. And it is so wonderful to do this as a group because then you can amplify that energy and share it in so many different ways. So thank you. Mwah. Thank you all. Oh, Yasmin says, very special meditation. I'm still coming back. Thank you. Oh, Yasmina, thank you all. Love you. It's such a treasure and such a treat and a delight to have you all as part of this and to be part of such a wonderful initiative. So happy heart space. Happy 4th of July to everybody until I see you on later on Monday. So that's going to be on Monday, and I really look forward to sharing our final activation with you on Monday, where we're going to build on this and take it to the next step. Oh, Lisa, what a pity you won't be able to make it on the 4th, but the recording will be up ASAP, so it'll be there as soon as you get home. I know, it is a bit of a bummer. We'll miss you, but there, do this when you go to work. Bless each of, Katie says, bless each of your loving hearts and divine diamond children, or childs, diamond divine child. Absolutely beautiful. Can't wait for the fireworks on the 4th with you all. Oh, that's interesting, Linda. We'll have to see how that actually builds in to the theme. Yeah, we create our own fireworks. We don't need to burn them out there. So, mwah, big hugs across the ethers. Lots of love for being such a wonderful part of it. Enjoy the energy that's actually been created, both within and without. And may you feel energized, joyful, uplifted, beauty. lots of beauty, calm, peace, and all of those amazing attributes that the diamond brings you as it's strengthened within and through you. So look forward to connecting with you again on Monday, and I will update the website with the link so I'm not talking to 12 versions of myself on Monday. Okay. Love you all. Love you all. Good night.